We're the 30th ranked offense in football. Does nobody want answers for that?
I think Eagles fans are the most spoiled, fan base I've ever seen. You want to watch a bad offense? I'll tell you what. Go put it in 1996 Eagles tape. I'll show you a bad offense.
Let's go to our main man, Jeff Kerr, joining us right here on Birds 365. He's donning the Penn State merch here on a Monday morning. Jeff, welcome to the program, my friend.
I think Jeff's celebrating. You going to spike the football? Poor James Franklin and his $50 million buyout.
I mean, the decision was made Saturday night, a day before it all came out. Like, there were reports coming out Sunday morning. Oh, Penn State's discussing James Franklin's future. I'm like, no, it's already discussed. He's gone. So
yeah, well, I mean, look, I'm going to be a contrarian here. I've always told you, Jeff, I think modern college football is about recruiting. I think he's one of the best recruiters in the country. You've already seen how many 4- and 5-star recruits have gone back on their commitment to Penn State already.
At least 4.
And they might come back. It's not the end of the world. But, I mean, to me, that's number one, at recruiting in modern college football. Now, the second part is the blue blood aspect. And here's where I'm going to rip Jeff Kerr and his Penn State acolytes. You guys have this mentality that you should be Alabama, that you should be Ohio State. And I don't think there's any evidence of that other than you won a lot over the past number of years when he's been there, but you haven't been able to beat top 5 teams. But that doesn't mean you can't in the future. And it only takes 1 year. And I said it's baked in before you got on. It's baked in the modern college football environment in the NIL era. And even Alabama and Zander's alma mater, they had a down year for them. These years are going to happen. And then the second part of it is these goofballs who vote, well, Texas and Penn State are the best teams in the country. And they both stink. People are like, well, they should be the best teams in the country. Maybe they're not the best teams in the country. Anybody ever think of that? And some idiot who doesn't know anything is judging them to be the best team before anybody played one snap of football? I don't know. I think, but my issue is if you got to pay $50 million to get out of the contract with this guy, with his performance and his record, are you sure you're going to be better?
I've said for years it's going to be tough to replace him. I mean, okay, you want to fire him? Fine, fire him. Who are you replacing with? I think that was always my argument to not fire him. The reason why he's gone is simple. All these years he made excuses. Well, I don't have the 5-star quarterback. I don't have the 5-star running back. I don't have this, and we're winning 10, 11 games. Okay, I don't have the NIL money. Okay, Penn State got that together. I can't compete in modern college football with the Dabo Sweeneys and the Nick Sabans and the Urban Meyers and the Ryan Days and the Jim Harbaughs. Okay, this is the most expensive Penn State roster ever created. This is the most talented Penn State roster ever created. That's what he said, his words. And you can't beat UCLA and Northwestern?
Well, that's a bad loss. Those are bad losses.
And you know what? He lost that locker room. He did. He lost it. And Drew Auer was not what – he failed Drew Auer. Drew Auer was never what people thought, but he failed him, never developed, had a quarterback play in a system that wasn't tailored for him. He had 2 running backs playing in the system that wasn't tailored for them. They could never get a wide receiver. Tyler Warren and Abdul Carter were a lot better than people thought. It was just a calamity.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but it was pretty much, all right, James, we gave you everything you wanted, and by the way, you're worse. He just didn't have an opportunity.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My mentality is, and I go through the Eagles with, the change to everybody wants to blame the coach, and I get it. I mean, I don't think he's a tremendous game day coach, to say the least, but it's like, weren't they a play away from the national championship game last year?
Yeah. Well, Think about this, John. 15 days ago, James Franklin's on College Game Day with Pat McAfee on top of the world. Like, all he had to do was beat Oregon. And I think the UCLA loss really.
Well, yeah, that's that. Well, the problem is too, and that's where you lose, I guess, the kids, and it's tough to blame. They're so young. But when you lose that Oregon game, remember, I think everybody still has that mindset of, hey, we're contenders for the national championship. We can't lose. You can lose twice now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's changed completely.
Yeah.
But Alabama, they lost the first game. Everyone, I mean, me included. Oh my gosh, no. They're like that. They're going to be a top 5 ranked team already again.
Yeah.
I think what happened was after the UCLA game, it's like, okay, even if Penn State wins out, beats Ohio State, beats Indiana, and again, this story has happened already around here. Only Penn State can beat a team, beat a team, win a conference, not make the playoff, and the team they beat makes the playoff. They can't even win their own damn division, but they got into the playoff. That's why I get mad at college
look
football.
at last year. Look at last year with Ohio State. They lose to Michigan, who's playing a walk-on, I think, at quarterback. And everybody wants Ryan Day out that moment.
Oh, Ryan Day was gone until he wasn't.
And then he won the national championship. It's like it's a different landscape.
It is, but I think Penn State, a lot of boosters, a lot of alums, myself included. Look, I'm not saying we're Ohio State and Michigan because we're not, but 20 years ago, I can make the argument. What is so great about Michigan? What is so great about Ohio State? Michigan's last sold national championship was 1948. Ohio State's last sold national championship was 1960. Don't tell me you're better than Penn State at anything. Well, now they are. And I think that's the reality that Penn State can't sink in. Ohio State and Michigan caught up to modern times. Penn State has.
Penn State's right there, though, guys. I mean,
I agree.
They're top 10 pending. They're up there. I mean, that's one thing I think Franklin does deserve credit for, coming out of obviously a rocky end of the last regime. He has put them back in the limelight. But I agree with you, John. I mean, what are the expectations if you damn near make it to a natty chip? But he lost the locker room, and I guess they just.
I mean, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 5 AP top 10 finishes, 7 top 20, 6 10-win seasons,
6 New Year's, 6 bowl wins, I think.
6 bowl wins, New Year's bowl wins, big bowls.
Yeah.
Like, and you're paying $50 million to get away from that on top of it?
I think the mistake was when Sandy Barber, who was the last AD here, gave him that contract after a 7-5 season. That's what I thought. But he's responded with 10 wins, 13 wins. I think that's so he's lived up to the quote unquote contract. But
and you mentioned some of the players that most recently Abdul Carter, Tyler Warren.
He's produced NFL talent. There's a lot of NFL talent that come out of Penn State.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
What bothers me about this whole thing is, and I work with some of these people, I had to listen to a podcast last night telling me Indiana is a better college football job than Penn State. What are you, nuts?
No.
If Kurt Signetti got fired at Indiana today, I guarantee you it wouldn't have been on the halftime show of the NFL today. Give me a damn break.
So here's my
I agree with you on that, Kerr.
Yeah. Penn State next head coach favorites, the betting odds. Matt Rule's the favorite.
I'm not a fan of that, by the way.
Bill O'Brien, number 2. Kurt Signetti, Indiana coach. Lane Kiffin, Manny Diaz, Urban Meyer. Come on, he's not coming.
All right, so I'm going to laugh here. Of the names I was already told and heard, and
Matt Campbell. How about Matt Campbell?
Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell's actually one of the names I've heard.
He would be an excellent candidate.
Mike Elko from Texas A&M. I've heard too.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I've heard
unless you're paying a lot of money.
Yeah, I've heard Will Stein, the Oregon offensive coordinator.
How about Nick Saban? Bring Nick Saban in.
Yeah.
I think a guy like Campbell makes sense because you got to get somebody who's at a little bit of a smaller program who has the pedigree to potentially be one of those guys.
And who produces NFL talent. Like he's won at Iowa State with a Brock Purdy.
He's got who?
Dave Montgomery. He had
Rocco Becht is his quarterback. Anthony Becht comes on our shows all the time. He was on a couple weeks ago. Rocco Becht is Anthony Becht's son. He's the starting quarterback at Iowa State.
Yeah, Matt Campbell grooms players for the NFL. I think
he's good, and the players there love him. They do. He's
a good friend of Nick Sirianni too. Good friend.
Is he Matt Campbell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what Penn State does, but it was a little bit of a surprise to see them fire him mid-season like this. But what they lose? They lost to Oregon, UCLA, and then Northwestern, 3 in a row, right?
And Northwestern is not a good football team.
No.
UCLA.
UCLA, Jeff, they were bad.
By the way, how bad is Deshaun Foster as a coach? UCLA's won 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I know.
They have some talent. They got that Tennessee quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing. It's not like they were. It's just the optics. Like no top 10 team has ever lost to a winless football team in October since 1987.
Well, that's what I don't like about polls. Like literally, they had Texas and Penn State as 1-2, and they were both out of the top 25 going into last week. I mean, if that doesn't prove to you what polls mean or the lack of what polls mean, I don't know what would.
Why do we still have the poll with the playoff?
I don't know. Good question. I mean, yeah, power polls in the NFL, which are just as stupid when people bring them up, but nobody really cares about them. But because polls have meant so much over the years to college football, people really pay attention to them, and people really think Texas should be the number 1 team in the country, even though they see Arch Manning play every week and he stinks. I mean, why should they be the number 1 team in the country? Because his name is Manning?
Yeah, I guess that was brutal.
Yeah.
Arch Manning does stink.
By the way, that ain't Peyton's son either.
No.
Cooper.
All right, Jeff, let's roll here. Question for you on the Eagles. You were we 4 days about removed from that loss. What's the evolved thought process on the Eagles' loss to the Giants after seeing some of NFL Week 6 yesterday? 2 games still to play in Week 6, but just your kind of evolved thoughts. I know we talked to you Friday immediately after the game. Where's your head here on a Monday morning?
There's no team in the NFL that scares me. Let's just put it that way. Like I was very unimpressed with a lot.
Oh my God, it was what a bad weekend for the projected good teams, I guess.
I mean,
like there's no good team. There's nobody you can hang your hat on and say this is a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tampa to me looks like the best team in the NFC.
Oh, that can't be.
I know, and and the Eagles beat them.
They're winning with all this. They're winning with all these injuries, man. I wonder how good they're going to be if they get everybody healthy.
By the way, I want to ask you about that, Jeff, because you were there. I can't say who said it, but a very young Eagles player said the league is soft. There are so many injuries. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
I mean, there used to be things guys would play through. What has changed? Because I think it's more league mandated, organization mandated. I don't know if it's the legal indemnity aspect, if they don't want to get sued. But guys sit now when they used to play through things. And you have all these players out. And there's some bad football because the backups aren't any good.
I mean, look at yesterday. Puka Nacua, what, he injured an ankle?
I think it ended up being an ankle. They called it a foot. I think it's an ankle.
And Emeka Buka got hurt yesterday. Like, teams are just, they're dropping players like flies. Like, Eagles are actually one of the more healthier teams.
I know. That's why it can't. People say, well, the injuries. Look at everybody else.
Look at Detroit last night. They had to go against Patrick Mahomes with all those cornerbacks out.
Unbelievable.
They had Avonte Maddox rolling out there.
No, Avonte was hurt.
I know, yeah, he got hurt, but last week they had him rolling out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like they're just beaten up. It's terrible. Like, by the way, the best game of the night I thought was Kansas City and Detroit.
Yeah, it's interesting because Detroit, they got the ball first and roll right down. I think it was a 9.5 minute drive. And typical Detroit, they're just mowing them down. Awesome drive. And they do the trick play
Yep.
on point. And it's a penalty because Jared Goff doesn't line up. I'm like, what? What? Why?
You have Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Punch it in.
They're doing, and it was great. Everybody's loving it. What a block by St. Brown, and Jared Goff catches the touchdown, and everyone, wow, how creative! And he doesn't line up right, and they talk it over, and it's a 5-yard penalty, and you got to take the field goal.
Oh, by the way, John, I know you don't follow this stuff on Twitter. Somehow it popped up on my feed, but Giants writers have been talking some crap on the Eagles recently.
No, I don't pay attention.
It's really funny, right? So
yeah, that's
they actually had the stones to criticize the NFL for giving Goff a false start and mentioned the tush push. And I said, you know what? First off, shut up. You won one freaking game against the Eagles. Your team is still a joke.
They deserve some credit, dude.
I don't care. I don't care. It's like you got one punch in and you won one round out of 12. Fine.
I'm just saying, we got this stacked roster. We make excuses for injuries. Jackson Dart's missing Malik Neighbors. He's throwing to Wandale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and
Jordan Humphrey.
Jordan Humphrey, and he walks in and beats the big bad Eagle. I mean, he deserves credit for that.
You played them on a short week in week 6. I don't give a
shit. It is what it is. I mean, look, you can add all the variables in them. Just
they deserve credit. But I will say if there's any writer covering any team like talking shit about another team, I mean, you should get in another profession. That's not your job.
And that's what I'm just laughing at.
Is it reporters or is it like Giants?
No, it's reporters.
No, that's a bad look.
Esteemed reporters too. Yeah. And I'm laughing. I'm like, wait a minute, did your head coach just have questionable legality on Thursday?
Well, team reporters aren't real reporters. Let's be honest. If you're talking about guys who work for the organization,
for the actual team, right?
Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, I don't know if
It just bothers me as someone who covers the league. Like, I'm just like, why do you care so much if your team wins or loses? I don't get it.
I'll tell you what, that Giants team is a good story. I mean, what quarterback had more talent around him on Thursday night? The guy with Wandale Robinson and Lil Jordan Humphrey, or A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert,
Giants offensive line played better than the Eagles offensive line on Thursday night.
Well, maybe it boils down to that, as it normally does in the NFL.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the Giants have a pass rush miles above the shit the Eagles put out.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I said that going in. That's the one advantage they had, obviously. And they have a legit big time pass rush. And the Eagles are struggling there. That to me is the biggest concern. I actually thought, Jeff, that the offense showed some signs.
I did too when I rewatched the game.
They ran it a little bit better. They obviously threw it better. Now you can't have the turnover, but that's what happens when you're behind. I mean, you press and you get the ball's a little bit off, and
they trailed the whole game essentially.
Yeah, but defensively, that's the first time where I said, "Oof, that was pretty bad." In the Vic Fangio era.
Yeah, well, talent wins games, and when you got Adoree Jackson, Giants cast off Adoree Jackson, and Keely Ringo, who couldn't cover Zander Krause.
I think Ringo could cover me, Jack.
The way I see it, you can't cover it. I like Keely too, but it's.
But that's the point, though. I mean, you can't just say, well, they didn't have Jalen Carter. They didn't have Quinyon Mitchell after, for basically 3+ quarters. Yeah, those are difficult injuries. But again, look at everybody else.
Yeah, look around the league.
You got to persevere better
Zander
than that.
Like Zander pointed out, no Malik Neighbors for the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I get this off my chest while we're talking about teams from the Meadowlands? Aaron Glenn is out of his gourd.
Oh my God, he's one and done. You got to get rid of him.
He's a bad coach. His players are even checking out now. It's only 6 games in.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's an organizational failure. You're trying to sell Justin Fields to people. I mean, the guy can't process. I remember when he was in Chicago. That's when I rolled out. He processes like a sundial. I'm sure I'm not the first one.
Yeah, but the way they did that too is an even worse look. Remember they flew Aaron Rodgers in to tell him he wasn't good. I mean, that spoke of like, oh, I'm on my high horse. Get out of here. All right, you sent out Aaron Rodgers. 50-year-old Aaron Rodgers is better than.
Oh my God!
I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers. He's got a nice little gig in Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah, yes, he's going to win that division. Baltimore collapsed. Cincinnati doesn't have Joe Burrow.
Man, how about
they're
Baltimore?
terrible?
I get it, no Lamar, but holy moly, what are they? 1-5 right now.
1-5. 1-5. Cleveland starting Dylan Gabriel. I mean, that division is brutal.
I'll tell you what, Cleveland looked really bad against Pittsburgh yesterday. Like
really bad.
Like Pittsburgh, John's right. They're going to win that division easily, but Pittsburgh just looked like they were on another class. I don't know.
And they're not that good.
No.
It's just everybody else is that bad in that particular division. But, boy, I mean, I think they had -10 net passing yards.
Yeah. You know, Justin Fields, under pressure, was 1 for 5 for -1 yards. And that's gross passing yards. That's not even net.
Jeff, where are you on contender, pretender talk? Like, we got some good teams. I'll give you a couple teams, on contender, pretender. You got Seahawks, 4-2. Rams, 4-2. 49ers, 4-2. Bucks, 5-1. Panthers, 3-3. NFC North, you got Packers 3-1-1. Lions 4-2. Vikings are 3-2. They're on the bye week this past weekend. Eagles 4-2, Commanders 3-2. They play tonight. A lot in the NFC. There's a lot of teams, and I think there's plenty in the AFC as well. Any real pretenders that are sticking out to you?
Pretenders or contenders?
Go pretenders first.
Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough, right? Because look, I think the Seahawks are a contender. I love what they did in Jacksonville.
I do. I think the Seahawks are real. I think they could be real.
I'm not. Look, the Colts are number 1 seed in the AFC, and I'm just not sold on them yet. I don't know what it is. It might be
Daniel Jones. Nobody believes in him.
What about the Patriots? Contender, pretender?
I like Drake May. He's the
only
young quarterback.
Yeah. Drake May plays good quarterback, and
I liked a lot of what the Patriots did this offseason. I said they were going to surprise some people. Now, surprise, I thought meant 8 or 9 wins, which looks like that's going to be the case. But
if Buffalo loses tonight, they're in first place.
Yeah,
it's Drake May. I mean, they have a good coach. Here's the thing: they have a good coach now, and Mike Vrabel. And they have a good offensive coordinator. He's a shitty head coach, but he's a good offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. And that's pretty good, man.
And they have a good quarterback.
Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May looks really good. There's no
Stephon Diggs looks pretty good too.
I can't get over the AFC North is almost hilarious. I mean,
it's
4-1 Steelers. The Bengals are 2-4. The Ravens are 1-5, and the Browns are 1-5. Yeah. It's like holy moly!
You knew the Browns weren't going to be good, but
right. And you honestly probably knew the Bengals wouldn't be great because they're
well, they're there. If Joe's there,
Joe Burrow,
they're a legitimate contender in that division.
Yeah, if Joe's there, they're a playoff team right now.
I know, but even last year, Joe Burrow had damn near MVP numbers, and they couldn't get to the playoffs because the defense was so bad.
But this year they were 2-0. Like they got off their slow start, and then he got hurt. But the Ravens, like before yesterday, their defense allowed 37+ points per game in 4 games. Now their defense plays well yesterday. And of course, the offense can't get anything going. Now they're going to get Lamar back next week, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, it's too late.
Is Baker the MVP of the league right now?
Yes.
5? Through 6?
I think Daniel Jones is, but I
think it's neck and neck. I think it's those two.
You know what? Sam Darnold's got a case too.
I think, Sam's better than both of them, to be honest. But I think Baker would win it because I think too many people would say, well, Taylor is having a great year as well in Indy. So I think they take that away from Daniel. But I would personally, and I have a vote, I would personally vote for Daniel Jones right now over Baker Mayfield. And And Sam's better than both of them. He just is.
Yeah, I mean, just Baker's just not throwing to many people right now. Like Ibuka got hurt yesterday. Did what's his name play? Did Godwin play? I don't even think
Godwin was out.
played.
Godwin
was
was out.
Mike
He
Evans
was
was out. So, I mean, he's throwing to Cameron Johnson and Sterling Shepard. You know? I mean, Baker's playing good football too.
And he didn't have a starting running back. He missed his
Yeah, Bucky Irving was out.
Yeah, we are forbidden from using injury excuse in Philadelphia right now. That is not a valid.
But remember who they were playing as
49ers
well,
team that was beat
and
up.
how many injuries do they have?
And now Fred Warner's done. It's man.
Oh my God, they lose Fred Warner. And by the way, Mac Jones is a starting quarterback in this league.
Mac Jones played on one leg yesterday.
Go ask Devontae Smith what he thinks of Mac Jones.
Oh,
He
he'll
got a
tell you.
Heisman Trophy on his shelf because Mac Jones threw him the ball so well.
Mac
I've
Jones
always,
is a
I've
good
always
quarterback.
laughed at the Mac Jones fodder. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I get it. He's probably a guy that needs to be in
Look
a
at these
perfect
guys.
spot.
Look at we just mentioned one at the top. Really, all three that we just mentioned: Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Mac Jones. Throw in that category.
Yep.
Jared Goff.
All first-round picks who were sent out from their original organization.
And they
Mac
can
Jones
all play.
Mac Jones has been on what? 3 teams now? The 49ers is third team?
Yep, because he was on the Jaguars. He was the Patriots, Jaguars, now they're here.
And
By the way,
so many people, because they have that in their minds. Oh, he can't play. Daniel Jones can't play. Well, watch him every week. When he's got an offensive line, that Indy offensive line is very good.
When he's out of New York, he can play.
Yeah. And he's got a running back, he's got a running game, he's got an offensive line. The receivers are pretty good. Shane's a good coach. Voila.
Tying it back, this is my fear about the Eagles because those are all quarterbacks that are, they're pocket passers, they're timing throws, they're those type of players. And when you lose a lot of players or you don't have the perfect team around you, that's the best way to get your offense moving in the NFL. Jalen is not that player, that type of quarterback. With Saquon running the way he is, with the offensive line not playing the way or playing the way they are, not up to the Eagles' usual standard, how do the Eagles make up for what they're missing in that area if Jalen can't pass the ball, as effectively as some of these other guys with the receivers he had? That's, I think, the biggest concern with the Eagles right now is how do they play offense if they can't rely on the run, can't rely on the offensive line to the level they have in the past? Does it bring back the RPO fully?
Well, you can't do that because you'll have 57 illegal man downfield penalties.
Yeah.
You got to use that judiciously, but I mean, we've been having that discussion for years. I mean, look, people are enamored with dual threat quarterbacks. Now, now Jalen's better equipped to handle shit breaking down and make plays than those other guys. All those other guys, with the exception of Baker a little bit, they need everything around them to be humming. Jared Goff being the best example, because Jared Goff, if you keep Jared Goff clean, you're screwed as a defense. I mean, that guy,
he'll surgically dice you.
It is so accurate. It's scary. But the minute he's behind and Spagnuolo can, get the blitz going, he's not doing, he's not moving out of the pocket. He's not extending plays. He's not hurting it. So it depends how you look at it. It's a give and take. Jalen, Spagnuolo sends the blitz to Jalen. He can extend plays. He can get out of it. Can gouge him that way. But if you want an on-time, on-schedule offense that's humming and has a good offensive line, you probably want the other style. And I say it all the time when people get upset about all these lists with executives. They don't want to play the way the Eagles play. So that's why they value some of these other quarterbacks more, because they want to play a more traditional sort of style of football. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse. It's just the reality of it.
And it can technically, it's a better style to play against more of the typical adversity you'd face in an NFL season. You know, if your offensive line is not the best offensive line in history, if you're running
then
game
you
is not
might
the
then
best running game in history, if your defense isn't holding teams to 16 or 17 points a game like they did last year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're struggling on the offensive line, you want a guy who's going to get the football out on time and fast. Justin Fields being the worst of that you saw yesterday. You know, Ed Kratz put out something yesterday. My buddy Ed Kratz, 9 sacks Denver had yesterday. And he compared Denver's got like, I don't know how many sacks, and the Eagles have so many sacks. I go, it's what the Eagles might have 7 sacks against Justin Fields. With the worst, if he's going to hold on to the ball like that.
Yeah, right.
Like you said, Johnny, process is like a sundial.
Yeah.
But they don't play Justin Fields this year.
Exactly.
Ed would have had a better case if, the Broncos had the most sacks in the NFL since the start of last year, which they did.
Yeah, it's a good pass rushing team, but you're going to get those spikes when you're playing a guy who's going to hold on to the football. Jalen Hurts holds on to the football, not to the level of Justin Fields, but too often the ball doesn't come out on time. So
when the Eagles' sack numbers will go up when they play the Raiders if Geno Smith's still the quarterback.
Yeah, Geno's not great, but even there are certain guys that are going to let you sack them, and certain guys who aren't. Matthew Stafford early in the season, he's going to get rid of the football.
Also, how bad are the Titans?
My God, come on.
Does Cam Ward stink, or is he just on the Titans?
No. Brian Callahan's the worst coach in football, and I'm saying that with Aaron Glenn around.
Brian Callahan, I don't get that one. I mean, I
don't either.
Understand why someone hired Aaron
Glenn
a little bit.
Cam Ward also stinks, but all rookie quarterbacks stink. The question is, can you develop them to get to where they're Drake May versus?
Yeah, I mean, you just talked about it. You just named 5 quarterbacks a couple minutes ago. Darnold, Baker. They're all first-round players who are on new teams who are thriving in the NFL.
Last year, Drake May, I thought, had a really good year despite all the dreck around him.
Me too, Jeff.
And I was like, okay, let's see what they do this all. They did the smart thing. They fired Gerard Mayo after 1 year. They got Vrabel in, so they got stability there. He brought in Josh McDaniels. That's a positive. You bring in Stephon Diggs, draft a bunch of young receivers, draft Travion Henderson, and you fix the offensive line. And you're seeing the result.
Yeah. 4-2. They look good, too. They look promising.
Drake May had 2 50-yard passes taken away from him yesterday by offensive pass interference penalties, too. He could have had an even bigger day.
Questionable ones, too.
Yeah, they were very questionable.
So where does the Eagles offense go from here? Is it simply boiled down to they have to start being able to run the football better, or it's going to look bleak? Is that the simple answer in simple terms?
Yeah, they do have to run the football.
If your standard,
like we just talked about Jalen, he's built a certain way. The offense is built a certain way. They have to thrive in that area, or it's not going to work. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
To me, there's too many men in the box. The +1's getting taken away, and there just isn't holes there for Saquon Barkley, and it's really hurting what this team wants to do, which just brings back to what AJ Brown wants. Well, we got to pass more to open up the run. Well, teams are still stopping the run even though you opened up the pass. Now what?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it depends on your standard. The standard of the Eagles is Super Bowl. And if they want to win another Super Bowl, they have to run the football. Can they win? They're going to win more games than they lose if they turn into a pass-first team and they average 3.5 yards per carry, because they are talented. But they're going to win 10 games or 11 games or something like that. And they're going to lose a bunch of games, and they're going to lose in the playoffs, and people are going to be upset. Not that they'll be bad. They'll just be a run-of-the-mill NFL good team unless they get that running game going. That's their wheelhouse. And this week is a perfect opportunity because Minnesota is very bad defending the run, especially if Blake Cashman doesn't come back. They have Eric Wilson playing middle linebacker. Not good.
Eric Wilson's still their middle linebacker. It's actually incredible.
Well, Blake Cashman is, but he's been hurt with a hamstring.
Yeah, I know. But it's just funny how Eric Wilson's still around.
Yeah, well, that's the NFL, man. And Van Ginkel's been out. We talk about injuries again. That's another team. They were down 5 offensive linemen in London.
If the pass rush can't get it going against Minnesota,
I don't know who's coming back. Some of them are coming back, I assume. Kelly's on injured reserve, so he's not coming back.
Well, we'll find out this week. They were on the bye this week.
Donovan Jackson might be back. Darisaul's back. O'Neal might be back. And then all of a sudden, all right, it becomes a more difficult game if those guys are back. If they're not, should be an easy game. And it depends who they're going to play at quarterback. I mean, if they play J.J. McCarthy, it should be a layup.
I mean, we thought last week was going to be an easy game, too, with Jackson Dart throwing the little Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, we really don't know.
I mean, I'm a Jackson Dart fan, but I was not under the impression that Jackson Dart was equipped to come in and beat the Eagles.
No, but I'll tell you what, I will say this about Jackson Dart. There's guys he's got the moxie to play, like he's got confidence to play that position.
Yeah.
So if you watched JJ early in the season, because they had that brutal doubleheader. I think they had Monday night and Sunday night. So we had to watch that team with Jay. He's got no confidence. He doesn't have that. Like, it doesn't look like he believes in himself.
That was like the big argument for Giants fans and media with Dart when Russell Wilson was struggling. Even in week 2, they're like, well, Jackson Dart, he showed in the preseason he can play. And meaning like he is not afraid to play. I think that's the most positive. Because I assume, and I've said it on the show, I assume Vic's going to eat alive young quarterbacks. That was the most impressive thing to me watching the game, Jackson Dart. That dude thinks he's good, and that's important. Yeah, that's why the Giants are going to be okay, because he's not going to just go out like a pumpkin. Like, I don't think Daniel Jones ever – I think his confidence went down every single year. He needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Like, when Daniel Jones came in, I saw an ounce of confidence in him. But then, you get sacked all the time. You get hurt. Things aren't going right for you. You have a couple bad games. And it's like, okay, they just build me as a savior. I don't think they're building Jackson Dart as the savior in New York because they've been so bad forever.
Well, and I don't know if he can hold up. And he won't be able to hold up if he plays that style. He almost had to leave that game. Brian Daboll didn't get him out of the injury tent. So I don't know if his style's going to hold up, but I was impressed by his moxie. I was, because he believes in himself. And playing quarterback in this league, you better believe in yourself. And he does. He's got that Baker Mayfield-esque belief in himself.
So what's the outlook then moving forward with the Eagles offense this year?
Get the running game going.
Yeah, get the running game going.
Does it get going? I mean, let's just assume the offensive line. I don't know. Does anybody think Landon Dickerson's going to get more healthy mid-season? I don't. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does.
Well, I think he's going to sit out.
If he's out a month, he will. Yeah.
No,
I mean, look, you have to look at the schedule right now. So, Minnesota, I don't believe he's going to play. New York, I don't believe he's going to play. You got the bye week. Comes back what? Right. November 10th?
That's close to 4 weeks.
Yeah, so I think he gets healthier in that stretch. This is a weird stretch, by the way. Like, there's one home game. You play back-to-back road games. You have the mini-bye. You got a bye after the home game you play. Then you go to Green Bay coming off the bye. And then Detroit comes here.
Yeah, those are the two tests in my mind.
Yeah. That Sunday night football game is going to be huge against Detroit. And the Monday night game against Green Bay.
Yeah, those are the two teams that might be good, might not be good. I can't look at any team and say they're really good.
Yeah, the Commanders are more than likely going to beat the Bears tonight. Everybody's going to hype them up because of Daniels.
Is Daniels playing?
I'm going to give the Bucs some credit for winning games with a lot of injuries. I mean, Baker deserves a lot of credit for that. That team's probably I probably put them as the leader in the clubhouse for the NFC right now.
It's so weird with the Commanders too, because like I think they're a good team, but I'm just not going to be sure they're a good team until they play a good team with a healthy Daniels again. I mean, they played the Packers on a short week in week
Marcus
2.
is playing well, by the way.
Yeah, he
Marcus
is.
Mariota.
But Daniels played really well last week against the
Yeah.
Chargers. Chargers got lucky yesterday beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat themselves.
Dolphins are just
What a mess.
Poor Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say poor. I mean, he's lost that team.
but how about
And
Tua?
how about
Tua's
Tua's
comment?
What is he trying to say?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, aren't you the leader?
I'm
Are you
bad
not a
leader.
captain? The quarterback?
Too. I think some of those hits to the head, man.
I'm telling you, Xander, this has always been my theory. These people in this league can't admit Jalen Hurts, the guy who got benched for Tua, is better than Tua. They can't admit it.
Oh, he's I don't know. Who can't admit that? I don't know anybody in the
there are people
NFL.
that can't.
I don't know
They're
anybody
very
in the
different
NFL.
styles of player. Very different styles of player. Jalen overall is a better player. For
I'm
sure.
not talking about grifters. I'm talking about people in the league. I don't think anybody.
Well,
thinks
people in the
Tua's-
league don't tweet and they don't get 10,000 likes on stupid
Well,
shit.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure Miami will talk up their guy because they have to, but I don't think anybody in the league has any problem saying Jalen Hurts is better than Tua.
But you know how the media narrative works. It's Jalen's always been the guy who got benched for Tua.
Well,
So
he did
Jalen
it.
must not
I
be
mean,
any
that part is factual.
Yeah,
that's
it
that's
is,
why I said
but
they're very
the
different players.
narrative.
Jalen
he
didn't
isn't
get
good.
benched for Tua because Tua was the better player. Jalen got benched for Tua because Tua was more equipped to get the ball downfield in the national championship.
And it
for
worked.
Cleveland. And it worked. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not about Jalen is a better overall player. I agree. Jalen is not as good at Tua as getting the ball out on time and moving the ball downfield. Fair to say or no?
Oh, well, I mean, what the thing about Tua is he's got, impressive arm talent. He's a one-read quarterback, and if that first guy isn't open, he just chucks it anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a
forget it.
turnover machine.
He does.
Now-
But he's
now-
strong with the reading and the defenses too.
When it clicks, some of the throws are like, wow.
I'll
So
tell you
you
what,
get why he
Xander,
was.
it's been 8 years now. Man, Nick Saban's got a lot of cojones for doing that. I couldn't do it.
When you got better players than everybody else, how many cojones do you really have? You can go to your third string.
You go 13 straight games with a quarterback, and then you switch him out at halftime.
Not only 13 straight games, you went a whole year with this guy. You went to the
That's
national
what I mean.
championship with this guy the year before.
Yeah, right.
Oh, by the way, he should have been in that the first year.
They lost.
I mean, and look,
the year before.
Yeah,
I think Nick Saban's one of the best college coaches of all time. I say it constantly, but not because of that. I mean, he's a tremendous.
No, but I think Jeff is right. It was a big decision. And
I mean, that's you want to talk about reading the room. That's reading the room.
Jalen was 26-2 as a starter. So for all the people who are we're 21-2, that's a lot of wins.
Well, it's a lot harder to go 21-2 in the NFL than 26-2 at Alabama.
That's
a lot harder.
Yeah, I think we gotten spoiled by the fact that the Eagles basically lost one game over the last calendar year.
Well, are we spoiled, or is it the reality that what we were is not going to last forever, and we've reached the end of what we were?
Well, that happens with every team.
But the end of the dominant 21-1.
Well, Xander, if anybody thought that was going to go on forever,
nobody did. But you still have to signify when the end happens. Did the end happen, or is it a blip in the radar? Flush it down the toilet.
We'll find out.
Eagles football.
We'll find out.
I don't think you can sustain 20-1 for a very long time. Can you sustain being a legitimate contender?
You can be 12-5 every year. I think.
Yeah, that's more realistic.
Which I still think they're a 12-win team, even with these two losses.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, there's nobody you sit and look at. So if you pick Tampa, I'll still pick Detroit when they get healthy. Jeff, what's your top NFC team?
I don't know. Detroit's gonna get healthy, but they haven't beaten anybody good.
Will they get healthy, man? They've
had a bad run.
Yeah, I mean Tampa. Will they get
healthy? my point of this exercise is, do any of those teams really scare you?
No one does. I just did the playoff standings for the first time last night, and I was like kind of chuckling. I'm like, these teams aren't any good.
Guys, we went 21. We keep talking about that 21-1. And I get why we do. It's historic. But 17 is
Eagles fans
we're from last season. And last season, there wasn't a team who matched our physicality in that run or even came close to it. We got out physicaled on Thursday night
by a rookie running back,
Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah, by Cam Scatterbo.
I haven't seen us get out physicaled that way since before we went on that run.
The Tampa game was the last time. And
right.
the Eagles were so beat up in that game.
Exactly. That playoff game you're talking about, right?
Both Tampa games.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the game last year.
Yeah, but both of them. No, but I'm going to point out the Tampa playoff game because that happened too.
That's why I'm like, is this a switch? I mean, we got bullied. I've never seen us get bullied like that.
Well, I've seen it, but
yeah, I mean,
recently.
Yeah.
I mean, recently. Like,
I don't. That just came down to the offensive line. Like, I don't think they are more physical than other NFL teams. I think their offensive line was, and to a certain degree, they're deep. Then that's how they build it, and their defensive front as well.
I was, by the way, I was bothered by watching Denver and the Jets because I said, how did the Eagles lose to this Denver team? They had them in the bag.
I don't know how the Jets lost to that Denver team.
They shouldn't have. You know the Jets scored 8 of their 11 points off Denver miscues. If they were a good football team, they would have scored 20.
Yeah, I don't think Denver's that good.
They're not.
But you know,
like that's the loss that bothers me more than the Giants loss.
Oh no, I can't go that far.
I can.
I mean, the Giants are a bad football team,
well,
and they will go back to being a bad football team. And that was a bad loss. You
mean you don't believe that they're going to win the NFC East and go to the Super Bowl and like everybody else in New York talks about? They're insane there, by the way.
They're a bad football. They remain a bad football team with a very good defensive line. I give them that. Defensive front. That's the one thing they do have, and that's a good thing to have. They should build on that and continue to build the right way, and you see what happens. But they're at least a year away.
Or they might be a year away from being a year away.
Exactly. So yeah, Denver, I mean, kind of stole the game.
That's putting it nicely.
And you know, the Eagles played
the Giants
poorly.
flat out beat us. Denver stole it.
The Giants flat out beat you, which is
they pulverized you.
Yeah. So to me, that was the much worse loss. The Eagles were sticking up 17-3, and I was yawning at Denver. The Eagles kind of shot themselves in the foot.
I was a little distraught when the Eagles were down 17-3, but for other reasons.
Yeah.
It was not a good night. Not a good night.
I mean, anybody who can see trends, though, I mean, look, this has not been a dominant year. We squeaked by a lot of the first couple wins that we had. I know we started 4-0, and everybody's all high on the 4-0 and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I asked you who's contender, pretender. Are the 2025 Eagles a contender or are they a pretender?
Well, I think they're a contender.
They're a contender. I'll tell you who's a pretender.
Mainly because everybody's could go either way. All these good teams, the 5-1, 4-2, they could be contenders or pretenders. The Eagles are in that category as well.
I'll tell you who's a pretender. I never saw so much trash talk from Dallas Cowboy fans that you can't even beat the Panthers.
Well, their offense is amazing.
I'll tell you what, that really good offense, man. Really good offense, really terrible defense.
Perhaps they should have kept that certain pass rusher that's doing pretty well in Green Bay.
And that might have helped them.
By
the way, they'd be a contender.
If they have Micah Parsons, they're right there with the Eagles.
Yep, I agree. And that Commanders game next week would be huge, but it's not because they can't stop anybody, and they're not going to stop Hayden Daniels.
Jerry's going to be Jerry, man.
By the way, happy birthday, Jerry Jones.
83.
That's playing great.
Dak is playing great.
Dak is playing great football.
Dak's amazing. Dak's a really good quarterback. George Pickens was a great trade. That's why I never understood why they traded Parsons. You had him. You had CeeDee Lamb. Devontae Williams.
Dak Prescott has turned George Pickens into the star so many thought he could be.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens if you have a good quarterback throwing to you.
Need a vehicle to get you the football, man.
What do you think? What do you think Devontae Smith would do in that offense?
A lot.
That's why I said. Remember last week on Friday, I said I think Devontae's a top receiver in both of you. Which rightfully, you're right. He's not a top 10 receiver right now, but I don't know. You put him in an offense like that.
You could say he's a top 25 receiver, right?
Yeah,
25. I'd say higher than that. Come on,
but top 25's
I think he's
really
top
good.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good receivers in the NFL.
Yeah,
that is a position. That is a position that is wrought with talent.
Just get one from Ohio State, and you're usually pretty good.
Yeah, right. Ohio, they produce wide receivers like it's a tree. It's crazy.
Jackson Smith the Jigba might be the best.
Oh my god!
Oh, that kid's a stud.
Well, give Sam some credit. Man.
Oh yeah, well that's why I like Sam going there because he got to throw to him.
Abuka, I know he
you
got
saw St. Brown. St. Brown is unbelievable. Puka. Obviously, you have Chase. You see Chase catching balls with Joe Flacco.
Oh, it was fun. That was fun to watch yesterday.
You see DK Metcalf with Rodgers. Obviously, Justin Jefferson's phenomenal. You saw Sutton here. Jalen Waddle, even with, Tua.
Player.
And poor Garrett Wilson. He's the guy I feel bad for. Because that dude can play, but you never know.
Nobody's talking about that he can play.
You know who's a stud? Brian Thomas.
Pickens.
Yeah, there's a lot of receivers right now in the NFL. There's no doubt.
There is a ton of big time receivers. Even guys like I really like Dunze from Chicago.
Yeah, me too, John.
Yeah, you're gonna see him tonight. Terry McLaurin.
Malik Neighbors got hurt, but he was phenomenal. Yeah, McLaurin. There's so many good receivers. That is a position where there's so much talent just because that's all they do in the offseason now, 7-on-7s. And so those guys are so far advanced. But
Nico Collins is a good receiver. We're not going to see him play this week. It's a bye.
Devontae's very good. I'm just saying he's not top 10. Come on, guys. But could he be George Pickens in Dallas with a quarterback like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Me too. I have a hard time believing a guy who runs routes as crisp as Devontae Smith.
Different style.
Yeah, no, I know, but he can't get he's struggling to get the ball in zone coverage.
I think a better comparison would be Devontae Smith playing for the Lions. He'd be a Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He'd be better than Jameson Williams. He wouldn't be Amon St. No, he wouldn't be.
No, but I'm playing the comparison.
Better than St. Brown personally, but
no, St. Brown's really good.
That dude's off the charts, man.
Dude, Devontae Smith is off the charts too if he was given the ball more.
Now, Jameson Williams, yes, he's better than Jameson Williams. St. Brown is.
I like Amon-Ra. I don't say that to dish. I think they're neck and neck. I mean, you take one, I'll take the other. I'm just saying, in the same style of offense, I think Devontae would just. I mean, again,
I think
St. Brown. It's not even a fair comp, but like, how many wide receivers have won the Heisman? You know what I mean? Like Devontae.
Well, it is college,
talent that is crazy. Now he just doesn't have a high volume passing offense that he's involved in. You know.
Yeah, I'm not going back to college, but St. Brown to me is top 5 in the NFL. Top 5 easily. And I put Chase number 1. I still put Jefferson number 2. Those guys are 1, 2. You're not going to see it as much this year because Burrow's hurt and the Vikings, that worst decision ever. Could have had Sam Darnold, could have had Daniel Jones. They said, nope, we don't need that.
We didn't even mention Justin Jefferson on this list of great receivers.
Yeah, well, he's number 2. I put Puka number 3. Right.
Jamar, wait, did you have Jamar 1? You had to have Jamar 1.
Yeah, right? Jamar's 1. Justin's
Jamar
2.
Dang, dude.
Justin's 2. Puka's 3. St. Brown is 4. And then I probably put early in the season, I probably put JSN 5. because she's so good. Smith and Jigba. Those are my top 5 right now as we speak today. And those are all superstars, superstar receivers.
Well, we'll see how it shakes out from here. I am a little bit just like, where does this offense go from here? Like, that's my biggest question right now. Is if you're struggling to block or struggling to run, I don't know where the offense goes from here because they're not equipped to play a different way. At least that's what it seems. That's what it seems. I don't know if there's an elephant in the room we're afraid to address or what. I mean, I don't know.
I address it all the time. I get no more hate than when I address it. But again, different styles. You build around. That's what I think people. I hate a quarterback evaluation because, the assumption that you build your offense around your quarterback. That's what the Eagles have done. Successful.
Yeah, but John, can you also say it's also built for another style? I mean, any of the passing quarterbacks that we named on today's show, any of them.
If you want
Arnold, Baker.
If you want another style of offense, fine. Get rid of the quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want to drop back, play action, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay.
I'm not saying I want to do that
offense.
I'm saying that we have to find more success with the playmakers that we have. I mean, we have playmakers that any of those quarterbacks would foam out the mouth to play with.
Well, and they probably foam out the mouth to play with them, but they're not.
They're not winning Super Bowls either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's offense looks great till February when he blows 10-point leads in Super Bowls.
But he's a hell of a play schemer.
Yeah, he is.
And
game day coach, he's horrible.
Can't manage a team to save his life.
The organization has a big part in that.
Look, John Harbaugh's a great coach, and people want him fired right now. So
yeah, he's got to get fired if this continues.
Oh yeah,
which it won't. But yeah, everybody's got a shelf life, and John may have reached his shelf life in Baltimore. To be honest,
that's what happens when you win. Sometimes you're the victim of your own success.
Yeah. I mean, Andy had a shelf life here. Everybody's got a shelf life. Bill Belichick had a shelf life.
Nick Sirianni will have a shelf life.
Yes. Well, he'll definitely have a shelf life. Kevin Petullo will have a shelf life.
The shelf life may be. People want him to be the head coach at Penn State. I'm like, you only want him here. Why would Penn State want him?
Well, I think that's
I think you're joking.
I know it's a joke, but it's a bad joke.
Yeah, well, it's a very bad joke. But
Kevin Petullo can't even coach Temple. He can't even coach Wagner.
Another loss. Did you see that Temple loss?
Oh, that was brutal.
I didn't see the Temple loss.
Oh my God.
Philly has not had a good week. The Flyers had an overtime game-winning goal taken away from them. They lose 30 seconds later. Man. The only good news that happened this weekend in Philly sports was Joel Embiid played in the blue-white scrimmage.
That ain't good news. That doesn't.
Him on the court.
I totally missed that. I'm shocked by that. I just assumed he was not going to play at the beginning of the season.
He played 5-on-5 and everything.
Wow, that is good news.
Jeff, are you going to give me some Sixer optimism today?
I'm not giving you any optimism. I'm just giving you the facts.
All right, I like that answer.
Playing in the blue-white scrimmage.
How many games will the Sixers win this year?
I have no idea.
How many games? How many games does the big goofball play?
Yeah, how many games does Joel Embiid and Paul George play? And then I can get back to you on
that. I mean, remember what's going on in the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton basically out for the season. Jason Tatum out for the season.
Cut their roster up a bit.
You basically only have to beat the Knicks and Cleveland. And if you have those two guys for 60 games, well, what are the odds you're going to have those two guys for 60 games?
Anybody else think the Knicks, they're not going to be an NBA championship team with that roster? Like they're going to be very good every single year, but
they're very good. Yeah. Well,
yeah. Unless the chips fall, they're not going to win.
That's the whole point. This is the year where the chips have already fallen for a bunch of teams. Like if you're a contender, a legit contender in the NBA in the East, you got to go for it this year.
You do. I agree. And I think the Knicks are trying to. I think that's why they were trying to trade for Giannis. I don't blame them.
Jeff, final question from me, my man. How much of this is on Kevin Patullo? Right now, looking at the offense ranks, they are 30th still in offense in yards per game. All right. And then if you look at the passing offense, they are 29th.
Yeah, improvement up from last year.
30th overall. How much does the new offensive coordinator take on his plate to be, for blame at being one of the worst offenses?
I mean, it's part of it.
What percent? Give me a percent.
I'll go 30.
30 on Patullo. I think that's
Players got to play too.
Players got to play, man. Players got to play.
Yeah, this is my problem.
Everybody
criticizes Kevin, and I'm with you. I don't think Kevin's done a great. I don't think he's done things to make me impressed by him or remove him from any of the blame. But was it a bad play call when Devontae Smith had 50 yards between him and the next defense? I mean, he could have sat on his lap and caught that pass and still ran into the end zone. Was that a bad play call? That was bad execution.
See, that's the thing. Like I that's what I like about you, Zay. I think you could separate that a bit. I don't think people can. They look at Patullo and go, "Oh, Patullo does this. Patullo does this." Well, okay, yeah, I agree with you, but like you said, that's a missed opportunity. That might have changed the football game last week.
I've been preaching that for how long?
It definitely would have changed.
People do not judge play calls; they judge play results. I can't even tell you that was a good play call because that was a blown coverage.
If you want to judge a coach, watch halftime of the Jets Broncos game yesterday. That's how you judge a coach.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's how you judge a coach. Like you want to blame a coach. I always think blaming the coach, blaming the manager is so lame.
It is.
It's so lame because that tells me you don't really know shit.
Yeah, but coaches do give advantages, right? Like you have great players. The NFL, how many great players have we named on this segment today? From receivers to quarterbacks to the job of the coaches, right, is to put them in the best positions for their talent to thrive in the NFL.
I really do.
I'm not of the belief this is where I would criticize Patullo. I'm not of the belief that he's done that with the talent that we have on this team. I'm just not. Just because you have AJ Brown doesn't mean, okay, AJ, you're AJ Brown. You should be able to always get open. Like, isn't the coach supposed to?
This is your issue with Patullo. I think this is people's issue. It was an in-house hire. It was a late hire. It was they got the ghost of Brian Johnson in the back of their heads, so they're going to compare.
Which is silly.
I know it is.
But here's the deal. Here's where, because I know people enjoy it so much, I'm going to go into my defend Kevin Patullo mode right here.
I'm not defending him. I just
think get mad at you for this, John, but I love to
do it. The difference between this year's Eagles and last year's Eagles is the running game.
Right.
Well, now Jeff Stoutland's still here. He's the run game coordinator. For those who don't know. I don't think anybody in Philadelphia is going to criticize Jeff Stoutland.
Or fire him.
Nor should they, by the way.
I have some questions. Has he checked out? He's posting family pictures. That guy's ready for retirement.
He's always posted family pictures. But good. I'm glad you at least – I actually respect that if you want to take shots at Jeff Stoutland.
I'm not taking shots. I'm just saying. I didn't notice.
But I actually respect – so – What is different from this year's run scheme from last year's? You want to blame it on Kevin Patullo? It's the same damn run scheme. Same damn run scheme. One of the greatest offensive line coaches / run game coordinators, certainly, of this era. One of the best assistant coaches of all time. So if you want to blame Kevin Patullo, go ahead. But my point is, to Jeff's point, you don't know what the F you're talking about.
That was always my argument.
Same running game as last year. The effectiveness is different. The effectiveness is different because the offensive line's banged up. Maybe the running back isn't what he once was, although I don't believe that. To me, I think he's got more juice than he had last year. So I put most of it on the offensive line. They're not executing the way they executed last year. They're not playing the way they played last year. And that's the biggest difference. The passing game has actually improved incrementally, but it has improved.
I think my favorite Patullo thing is You do know him and Kellen Moore were basically neck and neck last year.
Oh, they were.
It's the same offense.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. People just want somebody to blame.
It's like when people say to me, James Franklin's a terrible play caller. I'm like, well, how would you know that? He doesn't actually call the plays. Andy Kolnicki does.
They want, most people want everything tied up in a comfortable little bow. So this is the problem. Remove this. So you can remove it and let Nick call plays again. People aren't going to like that.
They're too busy thinking the halfback counter move in their Madden video game they're playing works every time. Because it does.
Might work in Madden. Yeah.
It does work in Madden.
And by the way, and I say it all the time too, play calls. You might have the best, and Doug Peterson, I tell this story all the time, and he was just on the channel, is the one who told me this. Sometimes you might have them. You as a play caller, you dial something up and you got the right look and you got them fooled and it's a big play waiting to happen and the left guard misses a block and nobody knows it. Nobody knows it. And there's sometimes, we just talked about the great players and all those great receivers. Sometimes they save your ass as a play caller because you got the wrong play on. And it might be a run, and you might be running into a heavy box that should be stopped for a 2-yard loss, and Saquon turns it into a 50-yard gain, or a receiver pulls something out of his ass, or Jalen Hurts off schedule does something, and everybody's so happy. Is an off schedule anything? Do people think that's a good play call?
I don't think they know it's a play call or not a play call.
Exactly. Anything off schedule is not a play call. That's what off schedule means.
I think it's a hard sell naturally for what you guys are saying because people fall in love with players. And the problem is the Eagles are the 30th ranked offense. I don't really care who says what about how many games we've won. That is putrid. That is close to inept. When you're with the Bengals that without Joe Burrow and the Titans who look like dog water, that's bad. Objectively speaking. Other teams who have elite quarterbacks, whenever they have problems, they don't point to the quarterback. When the Rams don't look good, they don't say, oh, Matt Stafford's the problem. When the Bills don't look good, they don't say Josh Allen's the problem. When the Bengals don't look good, they don't say Joe Burrow's the problem. The way you guys are explaining it is,
I
don't think people can handle that.
I disagree with that, by the way. When quarterbacks play anywhere and they play a shitty game, they get shit.
Mac Jones is getting blamed for the 49ers losing yesterday. And
Matthew Stafford for years, people would I've defended Matthew Stafford for years. He got shit on so much in Detroit, it wasn't even funny.
Losing player. That's all I ever heard.
Maybe it's a bad take, but that's why I think Eagles fans are struggling. even right now, people are just hating on Jalen.
I think
hating on Jalen. We're the 30th ranked offense in football. Does nobody want answers for that?
I think Eagles fans are the most spoiled, fan base I've ever seen. You want to watch a bad offense? I'll tell you what. Go put it in 1996 Eagles tape. I'll show you a bad offense.
Oh God!
Yeah. You just put in New York Jets from London yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's horrible.
Oh gosh, the New York Jets. Yeah, that's bad. And I don't ever want to be mentioned in a sentence with an offense that's.
You did mention the Bengals without Burrow and the Titans. So you made your point.
Boy, there was some bad offensive football yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
And the Eagles have played bunny, but the Eagles have played bad offensive football for the majority of this year. But boy, I think the biggest problem, to your point, they're ahead of where they were last year when they won the Super Bowl in the passing game, slightly ahead, but slightly ahead nonetheless. The difference is the running game picked up for it last year. This year it's not.
They're not doing it. It's not an efficient running game. You're not seeing explosive plays. It looked better on Thursday, but not significantly better.
And if Eric Wilson is playing middle linebacker this week, you better get Saquon to 100.
Saquon Barkley averaging 3.2 yards per carry is a bigger concern to me than anything Jalen Hurts.
I think the offense needs to be a little bit more versatile to open things up for fucking Saquon. We ran the ball all year last year. The offensive line's not as good. He's not going to be able to run unless there's a real threat that the defense has to handle in the passing game. There's no way.
I mean,
But what solution do you have for that to happen?
Has Saquon lost a step? Do you think?
No.
I don't think so.
So
Well,
why
I
is he
mean,
running
what
the ball?
didn't they do that in North Jersey? Jalen
Yes.
threw for 283 yards, and there was more left on the field, as you pointed.
That's because I
missing-
don't think defense is really. I think it's like Vic Fangio. Hey, get your yards between the 20s. We scored 17 points versus the Giants.
But I'm saying you saw it in Envision. I mean, they were in a position to score again, and he made the bad throw. But that's what happens when you become a high volume thrower. There's more opportunities for mistakes. And if he throws that pass to that plot intercepted to correctly to Jahan Dotson's outside shoulder instead of his inside shoulder, it's a completion, and they probably go on to score. But
My issue with this offense is they have every game, they have like 4 possessions, but just don't do anything.
yeah, well,
Passing or
that's
running.
true. That's true.
That's the issue.
That's true.
How do you get that out of the system?
And by the way, AJ was wide open in the middle of the field. You didn't even have to throw it to Dotson, but I don't know what the progression was. So I'm not going to kill him for that, but because I don't know what the progression was. But if that throw is properly thrown, it's a completion. And he just threw it inside, and Plott made a good play. But that's what happens when you throw it 34.
It's a risk-averse offense. And
Yeah.
when you have a risk-averse offense, the explosive plays aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Jeff, we got to run. We appreciate you joining in today. A good conversation about a lot of things happening in the NFL world. That's why we love having you on, Jeff. That's why we have a show, because this league gives us stuff to talk about.
It's
Including,
a week-to-week league, Xander.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. And Penn State. We're going to be talking about that.
Penn State. I might put in Jeff Kerr's name. They got to save some money. So if they give you like $2 million a year,
I take $2 million. I would leave CBS to coach.
We might have to launch a specialty show with Jeff Kerr to cover this era of Penn State, the change of Penn State football. Where will they go?
I've only missed 3 total games in the James Franklin, 3 total home games in the James Franklin era.
Matt Rule's coming home. I'm making a prediction.
I love Matt Rule.
That many home games?
I go all the time.
Yeah, it's too far.
Shit,
too far.
Dude.
And it's like children of the corn out there. It's like a cult. I can't.
You know what? It's my way away from a computer for a day. And it's awesome.
that I understand completely. Jeff, we got to run. Appreciate it, brother.
All right,
Yeah,
my prediction, Jeff. Matt Rule cosplay Patrick Mahomes comes with him.
I love Matt Rule. I know Matt Rule. I don't want him as Penn State's head coach.
He's a Cape May guy, Matt Rule. All right, brother. Appreciate it.
See you guys.